the big dog, the tribal chief, the OTC won. That's a new thing,
That's
right?
That's a new thing, right? Yeah.
But isn't it a bit redundant because it says original tribal chief in there already?
Yeah.
The original tribal chief won?
Or maybe he's one tribal chief won.
What?
You know, maybe the O stands for one. It's one tribal chief won.
No, it cannot canonically stands for original tribal chief.
But they might have changed it.
He's
been away for a while.
The one tribal chief.
Yeah, so he's one.
Anderson. Hello, everybody. I'm Ollie Davis. I'm joined by Luke Owen DAD. Welcome to the WrestleTalk podcast here every Tuesday and Friday. So please subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast show thing. It might be on Spotify. It might be on Apple Podcasts, or it might be in the mail, complete with loads of people's poos.
You bringing that back?
Thumbs up. Press that button. Also, leave a comment down below with what you thought of this episode of Raw Ladies' Night for the first half of the episode and Men's Night in one match for the second half of the episode. And of course, send in your thoughts and chats to WrestleTalk.com/support or read out every single one over $5.
Rory is in the room with us again.
Yes.
And we got him to tell the story of what the strangest thing he sent in the mail on the Friday podcast because you had posted poo in the post.
Which is a perfectly valid medical thing to do.
Absolutely, yeah. That's how you get your DNA for like myancestry.com. As you
yes,
said, you know, they just said, can you send your poo in the mail? And you're like, that seems legit.
Yeah.
I totally have no problem with this.
That guy on Facebook messaged me and said, do you want more Bitcoin? I was like, yeah. And he said, all you need to do is send me some poo. I was like, good trade.
Yeah,
I've got loads of poo and few Bitcoin.
I create it every day. If anything, I'm getting the best deal out of this.
I need less poo. That's what I need.
And more Bitcoin. But Rory actually said to me, he had a better story to tell. And, I mean, yeah, you can go around. You can tell the story. Use Ollie's microphone. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
3:00.
Yeah, don't do it too sexy.
No, I suddenly remembered after the podcast last week that I felt like I had a better one. When I was about 7 or 8, I sent a letter to Katy Perry to invite her to my birthday party. I sent her like a full detailed letter, like my mum helped me write it and everything. Sent it. Annoyingly, she didn't come, but we'll try again this year. I think she'll have hopefully more time after space. And yeah,
space.
Hopefully, we should be good in the money for that. Woohoo!
There you go.
Katy Perry.
So, if we can,
You heard it here first.
If Rory
Breaks children's hearts.
If Rory sticks around a little longer, we might be able to have Katy Perry on the show.
Do we want Katy Perry on the show?
You don't think she'd bring any celebrity cachet to this? WWE are bringing in any celebrity left, right, and centre. I mean, we should just take a leaf out of their book.
Yeah. Well, so there was no. I thought there was going to be some poo in that story. I was like, when's it going to get to the bit that he's saying poo to Katy Perry?
Oh, I just got a text from my brother because he's watching the audio. My uncle sent Bruce. He reminded me, my uncle sent Bruce Forsyth's widow a sympathy card before he died.
Wow.
There you go.
It's quite menacing, isn't it? Well, we are here to review Raw, and which was a very good episode.
It was an awesome
good
episode
that
of the
we've
show.
got nothing to complain about, so we entertain ourselves with Royal Mail stories.
I thought this was an awesome episode of Monday Night Raw. I had a ball with this episode.
We'll kind of cover the whole last hour because it builds to the return of Roman Reigns. It's all connected. Starts with Gunther coming out because this Gauntlet match is to decide the number one contender to Gunther's World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. And Gunther comes out and just talks about how he retired Bill Goldberg. And I thought, oh, so we're not getting that Goldberg retirement speech.
No, they put it on YouTube.
Yes.
What more do you want?
Sting? All the stuff they gave to Sting, maybe?
He had his retirement match and he had his retirement moment in front of the Atlanta crowd. It's just that NBC, the big heels, made them cut it short because they had to go to the news. And so they felt bad and they put it up on YouTube and they said sorry.
Just to take a step back. Seth Rollins' injury happened 10 minutes into the match. Let's guess it was going to go 15. I don't know how that affects the half an hour that was left for Goldberg's match and presumably retirement speech.
There's hoops you've got to go through. There's standards and practices. There's health and safety.
I think
They might have thought that Bill was going to do. Bill had the same spot planned in his match, so they had to talk him out of doing that lion salt where he would then land on his feet. And they're like, Bill, Seth's just gone down with it, and we can't have you doing it. And he was like, but I've got to. It's my retirement match. Bill, I'm sorry. You can't do that in your last match.
I've wanted to do it for 35 years.
I've been practicing with Gage. My son's here to see me do it.
My beautiful boy. No, I think WWE, in hindsight, have done a terrible job booking Goldberg's retirement.
In hindsight?
Well, but I always thought it could come good. I always thought he might win the title. In which case, excellent retirement.
No.
But yeah, Gunther spoke about that. And he gets interrupted by Bron Breakker, who is the number one in the Gauntlet match with Paul Heyman. And Heyman cuts an excellent promo running down Bron Breakker's nicknames. But it's really nicknames of loads of other people. So he is the big dog. Another reference to Roman Reigns. He is...
he's the next big thing.
The next big thing. A reference to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar return confirmed.
Yeah, it's his yard. A reference to The Undertaker. He then said, he's a Steiner.
Which was so nice to hear.
It was. And it was like, why is he not just called Steiner then?
Break Steiner should be his name. And he said, he's going to break your ass as SummerSlam.
And
what does that mean?
And he's like, he is the next world. And I thought that he was going to have quite a sort of very smart, you can look back on it in time and be like, oh, he was actually talking about Seth when he was like, you will be face to face with the next world champion. Mm-hmm. But what he then said was, Bron Breakker. And I wrote in my notes here, man, I hope Bron wins. At the end of this promo segment, I wanted Bron to win this gauntlet more than anything.
The Seth injury, if it's real, is really quite tragic and very frustrating, I bet, for the people who have laid all these long-term plans. But a silver lining could be, and I thought at the time, well, why not just pull the Bron trigger now?
Yeah.
Have him win the gauntlet, have him beat Gunther at SummerSlam, main eventer possibly made.
Yeah, me and SP3 said this on yesterday's Evolution podcast. Right, we were talking about this, and that was my pitch I gave to him. I was like, I just have Bron win the gauntlet. Start from number one, beat all of the other four, and go on to face Gunther at SummerSlam.
And what they did, WWE, even in the Vince era, were great at gauntlet matches. Yeah. It's probably the best thing they consistently do.
Yeah. They're really good at them.
Yeah, and again, even though you've got this heel starting off, which makes the audience sympathize with them, just like a number 1 or 2 placement in the Royal Rumble, but weirdly more number 1, because it's that fatigue and they become the underdog as the match goes on.
Bron, I don't know why, but Bron having water breaks in between matches added this like new level of realism, like a prize fighter. Just being like, going to his corner, Paul Heyman was like, gonna cut him just so he can get the blood out. It's like, have your water break and spit it out. And it was just like, you just take the swig of water. Never looked like he was selling the fatigue of the matches. But because he's Bron Breakker, never looked like he was in any form of trouble whatsoever. Which is why, if I can have my one little and it's not a nitpick, it's not a complaint. I actually wrote in my notes, oh, that's a shame. It's when, I need to call him JC Mateo then, when Bronson Reed helped him win the match against Jay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he doesn't need help. He's Bron Breakker. He doesn't need help to beat Jey Uso.
You had to do that to make Punk the babyface because when it's not about apologizing to Saudi Arabia, they actually do book Punk as a good babyface. But I know what you mean, but I think you have to do it just by the confines of the match.
Well, I completely understand that. As a viewer who was so invested in Bron Breakker, and I think he's awesome. And this is a complete personal thing. I'm not saying it's a correct booking choice. I'm not saying it's a bad booking choice. I'm just saying I just want to see Bron win on his own. Mm-hmm. And also, I believe that he doesn't need help from Bronson Reed in order to beat Jey Uso or even to beat CM Punk in the final match. I really was I was kind of enjoying Bron just running through people.
Yeah. Well, you got 3 of those.
Yeah, but against what? Okay, so Penta. Oh no! He somehow managed to beat Penta. He somehow managed to beat LA Knight. It was
a rake of the eyes to LA Knight as well.
But that's fine. Like, I don't mind that at all. It was outside interference that I don't think I needed for a Bron Breakker.
I think Jey Uso could have just lost normally because he did his second entrance.
What a dick!
When it should have been like, no, stay on Bron Breakker.
Yeah. When we said this at All In, when Adam Copeland did his full entrance rather than just running down to stop Christian from getting his head caved in by 2 steel chairs, and Penta did the same thing during Night of Champions, and Jeff Hardy did it when he was going to save Matt.
Jewel.
Was it Crown Jewel? No, it was Night of Champions.
Was it Night of Champions?
Yeah, it was Night of Champions.
Sorry. Because very few champions were actually defending.
And earlier in the show, when Io Sky and Rhea Ripley came out at the start and felt so unbothered that neither of them were the world champion because they just had to do their entrances. I was like, well, I guess entrances are just the most important thing now. So Jey Uso, it's not about staying on top of Bron Breakker because you've got to qualify for this gauntlet. It's, no, you've got to do your entrance because that's actually more important than winning.
But Luke, he already had his entrance.
No.
He did a second entrance.
No, he didn't get to do his yeeting entrance. He came down, beat up Bron Breakker, then got to do his entrance.
Anyway, I don't think it was a case of Bron Breakker in trouble. He could have beaten Jey. He might have very well have beaten Jey in this third bit of the gauntlet match. But Bronson Reed, because they're heels, they cheated when they didn't have to, which is what stops it from being a coward level heel, from just a heel.
I don't think he needed it.
I genuinely believe he did. Otherwise, the crowd would start to favour Bron Breakker in the final match when the role is like CM Punk needs to win.
Yeah.
Because when CM Punk comes down as the final entrant, you've got CM Punk now as the underdog because Reed has established the threat.
And they've said on commentary, apparently, these have always been no DQ matches.
Yeah. It's no DQ in a gauntlet match.
He just said like, oh yeah, because there's no DQs in gauntlet matches. I was like, why? It's just singles matches.
Well, it's kind of a moldy person match, I guess.
But so my point I was going to make was, for me personally, when I was watching it, I don't believe that Bron needs help from Bronson Reed to win. However, I understand why they did it because it helps with the CM Punk underdog thing. But moreover, and more to the point, it brings back Roman at the end of the show. Because by having Bronson cost Jey the match, you've already established why Jey then comes back out to stop Bronson Reed and why you have Roman come out of that. So, like, booking-wise, if you're laying out the match, it completely makes sense. And I that's why I'm not saying it's a complaint or a criticism against it. I'm just saying, I don't believe that Bron needed help.
Yeah, I don't think the match was saying he needed help.
Well, you just said that he did.
No, I said he didn't need help to win. That's why it's not a coward thing. It's just a heels being heel thing.
But I don't think he needed... Okay, we're going to agree to disagree on this one. I just don't think he did.
Gunther was always up in the box as well of the arena, watching on throughout all of this. And yeah, in the final bit, we had CM Punk. Bron was just trash talking Punk all the time as well.
It's not fatigued.
What time is it? It's not clobbering time. And but he hits a Frankensteiner.
Yeah.
By this point, Bron's been wrestling for 35 minutes as well.
That's what I mean. Like, dude, he just had his little water breaks in between his matches. He didn't need no rest because he's Bron Breakker. He's this complete freak of an animal. He was awesome.
But then Reed tries to interfere again, but that's what brings out Jey. He takes out Bronson Reed. And in all the confusion, Punk hits the GTS on Breakker to win.
Yeah.
More than protecting Bron Breakker in defeat. He still looks great. Then Gunther holds up his title from the box. It will be Punk versus Gunther at SummerSlam. But then Reed and Bronson start beating down Punk and Jey Uso. And then they're setting up a double tsunami from Bronson. And Roman... The crowd are already chanting for Roman.
This crowd were anticipating this return.
But they have been for a few weeks.
Yeah. But I think
so it's been nicely building.
I don't know if it's just because we're on the road to SummerSlam now, and I was like, so Roman's coming back now, right?
And he did. And his music here.
Oh, man.
It's got to be one of the loudest pops of the year.
This place came unglued for Roman's return. This was... You'd have thought he'd been gone for 3 years.
Well, he's been gone since the Raw After Mania, which is April, so May, June, July. He's been gone 3 whole months.
but that's what I mean. It's like, but it's the superstar reaction that he's got. It was so awesome.
Raw, the whole of Raw just felt like it went stepped up.
I was already, this is a 5 out of 5 show anyway. Like I genuinely thought, like even before the Gauntlet started, I was like, this is my favorite episode of Raw this entire year. I had so much fun with this episode. It flew by. And then I was like, there's 45 minutes left for a Gauntlet. Do you know what WWE do really well? Gauntlet matches. So I was already like fizzing in my seat. I was having such a good time. And I really enjoyed this Gauntlet. And then this, and I was like, this is like all-timer. I loved this so much.
I noticed when Roman came out, the cheers were more high-pitched than normal. I'm not saying it was only women and children cheering Roman. I just think that there were so many high-pitched noises, they drowned out the guys, because then when everything had settled down, it was quite a low Roman Reigns or OTC chant.
And borrowed the European Roman Reigns.
But then on Wrestling Observer Radio, they pointed out how actually the higher-pitched cheers were a thing throughout the show. And they speculated maybe there are more women in the audience. Maybe that's an effect of evolution. Maybe that's an effect of Nikki Bella. I know we mock her, but she does have a significant audience.
Yeah, I mean, well, I said that when she came back. That she has done so much more for women's wrestling than I think people do give her credit for. Just because she didn't have those 5-star bangers that the women's revolution were having. The work she did on Total Divas and Total Bellas brought in such a massive new audience to WWE that cannot be understated.
So Roman stands tall. He helps up Jay. Doesn't help up Punk.
So good as well. Because Punk's got his hand up to be like, yeah, me next. And Roman's like, no.
Never apologizes.
It literally was. I went back. He was literally, no.
We were all a bit iffy about that last year. Like, come on, you've got to apologize to Jay. But now I'm quite into it.
Yeah.
Just be a dick.
Well, I think Jay's
Steve
accepted
Austin
it.
would never apologize.
Jay's accepted it.
Stunner him.
I was like, he's not going to apologize, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, Roman, the only way this would have been better is if Roman then speared Jay and Punk. And we're all aware that's not a heel turn.
He just replaces Seth Rollins because Rollins is out. This group needs a new leader.
But yeah, great. And I guess, I mean, we've sort of predicted this is going to build to a Roman Jay versus Braun and Braun.
The Bronze.
The Bronze. At SummerSlam. Although I think I would prefer a Braun Breaker Roman Reigns singles match. But I think you build to that.
Yeah, and also then you get Jey Uso on the card as well, and you've got the Bloodline tagging together to face off against the Bronze. I think it's a really good choice, and I am super excited about it. Honestly, as I said, after that promo, I just wanted it to be Braun. I wanted it to be Breaker versus Gunther because I was so into that promo, and I was so into Breaker's performance through the Gauntlet. But I think actually Punk versus Gunther makes so much sense. Plus, we set it up 2 weeks ago. And this is a really exciting tag match. I think this is a great move for SummerSlam.
Let's see what you all think in the chat gables. Italian Josh writes, hey lads, haven't been able to catch you live for weeks. Someone needs to bury the concept of a job now. Didn't see Raw yet, but just wanted to pop in to say hi and accidentally, my fault, I'm a moron, spoiled myself Roman's return. Sending lots of love. The concept of a job, I guess they mean working for a living as opposed to...
Yes.
Doing the job and losing very quickly.
Yeah.
C. Deaton writes, if Seth is okay to return before the Money in the Bank contract year ends, they should keep the briefcase off of TV so that we completely forget about it, and that's how Seth returns with a legit surprise cash-in.
Where are you going to get that at SummerSlam?
We just recorded 3 Count. It goes out on Saturday, so we won't go into any of our theories. We'll do that next week.
Well, I was thinking maybe we could also do that for the Friday show. Talk about like all of the ins and outs of this injury.
Father Dub, sorry. I initially breathed a sigh of relief thinking I would be spared from Yeet Encore. However, to my dismay and utter outrage, Jey Uso had the audacity to emote on Braun Breaker, the underdog and Iron Man. Such a heel move. Roman needs to teach him manners.
When Jey was in the ring, he's doing his whole like... I was like, you're such a bellend.
Yeah, quite unlikable. Well, that was the last hour of the show.
Yeah.
So this actually, I think this will be quite a quick recap because it was a very focused episode of Raw, which I think is my preferred style of Raw.
Yeah.
When you look back, particularly the start of 2024 when Levesque was really hitting it right, Raw only had about 4 different things to talk about because everything interwove with each other.
Yeah. And I think we've seen throughout this year, with a few occasions notwithstanding, you and I have sat down to do this Raw podcast and been like, I don't know what to lead with here. Because it's kind of like, particularly since WrestleMania, very slow going. And I think the over amount of shows they've been promoting all at the same time has meant that the show has felt slightly unfocused. But we actually are now getting into a period of time where there's going to be such less amounts of shows going on because it's SummerSlam at the start of the month, at the start of August, which means we've got 2 weeks before we get to that one. Then there is not another show until, actually, at the end of August, sorry, because then it's Clash of Paris. There isn't a show for the entirety of September. Then it's the Perth show in October and Survivor Series in November. And that's it. There are only 4 more pay-per-views for the rest of the year.
There were 4 pay-per-views in the last 6 weeks.
Well, that's what I mean. So it means I think shows can feel more focused because they're all just going to one thing. There'll be Saturday night main events in there as well, but they're not going to be, you're not going to be doing that plus 2 PLEs on the same weekend. It's going to be so much more focused.
Until AEW announce a show and WWE will suddenly, we always had a plan for Fatal 4-Way.
Oh, imagine if they brought that back.
We always had a plan for Over the Limit.
Do you know what they should bring back? Breaking Point, the all-submission pay-per-view.
This show began with Naomi, the new Women's World Champion. What a shock. That was, I did not see that coming in any way of anything.
Yeah, so you haven't, because you weren't here for yesterday's podcast review, but that is what me and SB3 were saying, is that I don't think anyone had on their bingo card, oh yes, and Naomi will cash in during the main event against Rhea and Io Sky.
So I salute you, Paul Levesque. That is the right kind of unpredictable chaos. Maybe, I was thinking though, maybe that wasn't the plan.
So
until Seth got injured.
Oh, well, we speculated until Liv got injured. Because the report was that when Liv went injured, they scrapped all Evolution plans and started again from scratch. And I wonder if this is one of those maybe last-minute decisions that they'd made.
Or if Seth isn't injured and is cashing in at SummerSlam, let's move this cash-in forward to Evolution. I don't know. But Naomi cut a promo. She feels just... She's already been great since the proper heel term, but this has given her a new level of legitimacy. Like, she looks right with the title, with the caution tape. And she had this great line where she told Bianca Belair she didn't betray her, she outgrew her.
Yeah. I said in yesterday's show, and I do think it's worth repeating, she was the least important thing of the Powerpuff Girls act. Like, when it was the 3 of them, and they were called, like, the big 3, I joked yesterday, she was, like, the 4th most important thing. Now, I think she's not only just outgrown Bianca, she's outgrown Jade. I think she's, like, number 1. And, like, the move from her to Raw here is so great for her, because now she can be the top heel. With Liv out, there is no top heel on Raw. Naomi can fill that role. She could be champion until she loses it to Rhea Ripley in Australia, and she can have a really good run with the belt, and then remain in that top heel position post Perth.
And specifically for the Rhea Io Sky feud, Rhea has still never beaten Io.
So good.
So it's great they kept that going.
You could almost call it magic.
Well, yes. Actually, this is when, because Rhea interrupts and Io interrupts, and that's when Michael Cole started saying Rhea versus Io is one of the greatest matches of all time. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So I can't really judge. But Michael Cole saying that, and the way he said it, has instantly made me go, can't be that good. What is it? Is it the greatest match of all time? It
wasn't the best match of the weekend, but it was the best match on the show. I think it's one of WWE's best matches this whole year. I think it's probably... I think there's an argument to make it is the best WWE match this year. And if it's not if it's not this one, then it feels like it's the triple threat that they had at WrestleMania with Bianca in there, because that match was like equally as great. And it's what elevates it is the surprise cash in and the drama of the match is so good, and the story that they tell wrestling within the match is, because you can tell stories in wrestling matches, is so good. This reminds me so much of when and you and I used to talk about this with New Japan, and Don Callis used to be on commentary talking about Meltzer star ratings for Omega and Okada matches, and I'm like, well, the more you say it, the less cool it feels. And when Michael Cole was like, it's one of the greatest matches I've ever had the pleasure to call. And it's like, it's one of the greatest matches in WWE history. It's only the best match I've ever seen. And then Adam Pearce comes out and be like, that was one of the best matches. I'm like, you are making this match feel very uncool.
Well, it doesn't feel real anymore.
Because
I can clearly see you've all been given a directive.
And also it just, because, and this is the same thing when Don Callis was doing this for Omega Okada, is it makes it feel like it's a not real match. Like it's not a real fight.
It's a performance.
It's a performance. It's like, well done for doing a 5-star movie.
And that the Michael Cole line is what it is. He says it every other month. I've just seen the greatest match of all time. The Pearce one, so he comes out afterwards and makes Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for SummerSlam. And he says, you both made magic at the PLE, and you can make magic again at SummerSlam. And I just personally, I found it pretty patronizing.
Yeah.
To the use of the word magic. Maybe they have used that word to describe a men's match, but I don't think they have, and I think a lot of the male wrestlers would be pretty pissed off if you described what's meant to be a real, like, brawling, competitive match as magic.
I think it's not just that. It's also, well, no, surely winning the title is the most important thing. Like, not just having another magical match. It's winning back. Io wants to win back her title. Rhea wants to win the title that she thinks she should have won when she got the visual pin on Io. It should be more about that as opposed to, well, you created so much magic when you had a wrestling match at one show. Maybe you should create that magic again, and this time with Naomi in there. I think I will take a slight issue with that. I took more issue with them just doing their entrances and just looking not bothered.
Yeah.
Like, Rhea Ripley did not look that bothered that she didn't win. And Io Sky was smiling. Dude, you lost the title like 24 hours ago. Why aren't you sad about this? And then they get the mic and be like, and now I'm sad about this. Well, tell your face when you were doing your entrance.
Yeah, definitely. That is something they need to sort out. It undermines the whole storyline. So, okay, so you're only upset when you're in the ring doing this bit, and the entrances are like a cutscene animation that you can't change the specifics of. And
there's a really easy fix for this. Is you kind of just remove that, let's create magic again at SummerSlam, and just make it about Io, you should have been the champion, you pinned Io Sky, but there was no referee there. Io, you were screwed out of your one-on-one match. You actually get an automatic rematch for the world title anyway, which is sort of sometimes there and sometimes not. And Naomi, you've got to defend, welcome to Monday Night Raw, now you have to defend that belt.
Yeah, because when Naomi had told both of them, get to the back of the line, and then Pearce is like, well, it's actually going to be a 3-way. Naomi just held up the title. Like, you should be pissed off.
You just told them to get back to the back of the line. You should be like, no, it shouldn't be them. It should be some other people. It should be Ivy Nile.
Yeah, so, we really enjoyed this first half of Raw. I enjoy all the bits. I think everyone's great, but they made it uncool.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's making it uncool.
Speaking of not cool, the Clubhouse with the Judgment Day, but they are very fun in a goofy way. Raquel begrudgingly says that Roxanne Perez did her part for them to retain the titles, and Finn tells Dom to be in their corner for the match coming up now against the Kabuki Warriors.
Grin Balor holding all of the titles on his shoulder, just going, and
he just looked at the picture of Liv and went, for Liv.
And there's JD McDonough in the background on 2K25 setting up a tag match of Raquel and Roxanne Perez versus the Kabuki Warriors. They're such dorks. They're the biggest dorks.
But Michael Cole will always be dorkier, because then he was in the position to promote how incredible WWE's weekend was. Just look at this graphic of all that combined social views. Well, nothing about how of course they wouldn't say, oh, by the way, we were outdrawn. All of our shows were collectively outdrawn by one AEW show over the weekend.
Yeah, don't talk about that. Shout out to Denise Salcedo, who made it into the opening Raw video package as well.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, in the reactions and stuff. Yeah. Well done, Denise.
Mark. Then we got the Kabuki Warriors versus Judgment Day. Kabuki Warriors just dominated.
I know.
I can't think of a single bit of offense Raquel and Roxanne got. Dom distracted the referee on the apron. Kyrie had hit an flying elbow for the visual pin on Roxanne, so Kabuki Warriors won once. Then Dom distracted Asuka. That let Roxanne get the roll-up pin.
Yeah, and Raquel Rodriguez was supposed to dive in and push the legs so that there was like an elevated pin, but she got in there as it was counted 3, so didn't really make much of a difference to it. I enjoyed the match though, particularly, I can tell you one bit that Raquel did. It was an offensive maneuver. It's when she was in the double armbar submission. So like Asuka had one of them and then the other one, and she just lifted her up out of one arm and then powerbombed. I've got it in my notes here. Powerbombed Kairi Sane into Asuka on the floor. That was a good spot.
With Paul Heyman and the Bronze backstage, he's now talking about the Seth injury. And Heyman just dismissed this, even though the show had been built around partly an update on Seth Rollins' injury.
Such a big deal. It's like, we're going to get an update on Seth Rollins' injury. Paul Heyman. There's no story here.
Yeah. He's got until June to cash in the briefcase, so it's a non-issue.
It's a non-issue. Bam, non-factor.
Okay, we're not... No one else is going to say anything for the whole episode?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know where I snap. I don't know where I sit with this. I can see so many worldviews on what has happened here. Number one, Seth is hurt. And he is just hurt, and this is a terrible, sucky, sad situation. There's a world in which Dave and John Pollock are just lying.
Well, like neither Wood and John Pollock as well is.
That's the point I was going to make. But that is a world that doesn't make any sense to me. They gain nothing from that. I know that, but there is a worldview. I've seen people in the comments say they're just making it up. That's what they do. They gain nothing from doing that. It doesn't make any sense. The third option and the third worldview is that the person who told them that is lying. Now, with Dave, that does add up because Dave said that he was told about that post-injury. On Sunday, he spoke to someone. They said they heard about it was going to happen on Thursday. John Pollock heard about it on Thursday. He was told on Thursday they're going to do an injury angle. Look out for it at Saturday night's main events. So that's a really weird situation. Which kind of then means that there's option number 4, which is that all of the talents have been told that it's real and it's not, and they're working the boys to make it feel real, which when it is revealed to be a work, discredits the dirt sheets, and it discredits Sean Ross Sapp, and it discredits Mike Johnson, and it discredits Dave Meltzer. Great, because that's brilliant, because that's really what we want to do, is discredit the and actually also creates a genuinely awesome moment that kayfabe can still exist, and we can still work the marks and fool the fans in a positive way. Or there's the option where all the talents know it's a work, but have been told to make sure you let everyone know that it's real, but one person has let it slip, and they're the one who has kind of like been a little bit of a spanner in the works here. And I don't know which world it currently actually is, but I'm fascinated by all of it, and I cannot wait to see which one of them it is. But there is a part of me on this show, and I was like, Seth's going to cash in at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to be CM Punk versus Gunther, and Seth's going to cash in at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's the only thing I'm sure about is to not have a belief either way. Like PW Insider got quite annoyed with people speculating that it wasn't an injury, or even reporting it wasn't an injury, saying that's disrespectful to Seth. I'm like, it's kind of respectful to Seth, because that's what being a wrestler's about. It's about fooling everyone. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited by the whole thing. I think either way, I love it.
Jackie then interviews Lyra. She is sick of being asked about Bayley, and Bayley walks over and tells her to stay the hell out of her way, which is going to be pretty difficult because they've got a 2 out of 3 Falls match next, which was match of the night. Oh,
so good.
As great as the Gauntlet match was, that this match was better, I thought. Bayley got the first pinfall about, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes in, and then there's a brief bit of hesitation from Bayley where Lyra is selling her back. And Bayley's got this decision to make. Do I target the back, work it over, or do I... she's my friend. Do I actually not do that? And she took the route of working the back over.
What was great about that first pinfall as well, Bayley got the shock roll-up win because Lyra let her emotions get the better of her. She kind of lost focus on the match itself. Very early on, Bayley took advantage and got the pin. When Lyra tied up 1-1, it's because Bayley lost focus on the match and let the emotions get the better of her, and Lyra took advantage of that, which set you down to this, this incredible final sequence that they had. I thought this match was just so excellent, and it's why there's part of me that kind of loved the three-way more than the main event at Evolution, honestly, because I love the story going into it. I love all the character work that they've been doing. And individually, they're having these awesome matches, and then the three of them came together and had this amazing opener for Evolution. I genuinely wanted 5 more minutes out of it. And I loved this match here.
It's like when you've got 3 people around the title and you can pair them off, or you can have a 3-way. It's kind of like that. There was a brief bit in 2000 or 01 where it was Kurt, it was Jericho, it was Benoit.
Yeah.
And they're all feuding over the IC title, sometimes in singles, sometimes in a 3-way. But yeah, and that final full sequence, the crowd are going ballistic. Like it's so loud for them. And it's this great sequence of the sort of Bayley sunset powerbomb into the steel steps. They get in. There's an elbow to Lyra's bad back, kick out into the Bayley crossface. Lyra gets to the ropes, but pushes off of them.
Yeah, Bayley kicks off the ropes to roll back into the ring to apply the crossface in the middle.
And Lyra hits the Nightwing.
Yeah.
I nearly said broken wing there. And yeah.
Well, you did it better than Michael Cole did, because she did a set-up powerbomb and Michael Cole went, Nightwing!
And then
not even close.
Becky walks down to hold up her title, because that is now the SummerSlam match.
Becky in the red and yellow coming down to pose. Love her so much. So this finish, it rules on multiple levels. A, it's just a very cool finish anyway. B, it tells a lot about like the technical prowess of Lyra. That is who she is. She's a very technical style wrestler. But C, Bayley's got no one to blame now. In previously, it's like, I could have won the title, but you cost me that. At the pay-per-view, she was the one who got pinned by Becky Lynch. Here, she got pinned twice by Lyra Valkyria. She has no one to blame but herself. So what does that mean for Bayley's character moving forward? We'll certainly see when we get to SummerSlam. I love everything about this. And also, like, it's one of the criticisms against Io Sky that I've heard is, well, you can't really do big programs with her because she can't do the promos. Because she's, English is not her first language, so she can't do the promos. And with Lyra Valkyria, it's like, well, yeah, her promo work's not been particularly great. It's a bit iffy at times. I don't really vibe with her promo work. But when she wrestles, she is so over with this crowd. That is what's gotten her over. It's not her promo work. It's the in-ring matches she's having. It's one of those, it's a classic argument of, you can just get over by having really good matches. Yeah. But WWE have got this like theory and this idea is like, oh no, you have to be able to do promos as well. But it's just not the case. And Lyra is actually example 1A. She has gotten over just through having great matches.
1A. 1A. After that, we got a recap of the Battle Royal and this from Evolution. And then Jackie interviewed Stephanie Vaquer. She said she's going to be a world champion. And that's when Chelsea Green walks in. And Stephanie went to sort of fight with her. But Chelsea said, I won't fight with you now. You can look, but you can't touch. Because then Nikki Bella took on Chelsea Green. We got a Karrion Kross promo within all this as well, which was really coolly filmed.
Yeah.
Like sort of looked like a wide angle lens, but right in front of Kross, and he's sitting down in what looks like a weird cinema armchair.
Yeah. Kross tells the truth. Great.
So probably, but Braun's not going to be happy because Braun got really sad that people won't think he took out Sammy.
Yeah.
So then we got Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. It was mostly Chelsea hiding behind the Secret Service, and then Nikki gets worked over. And this is when I realized, I honestly did not even notice, it's been all women's stuff.
Yeah, 3 women's matches back to back.
And the only in-ring segment was for the women as well.
Yeah. It's like a very good follow-on from Evolution.
Yeah. Well, I just thought, like, I referenced it in the news today. There's obviously all women's pay-per-views. That's a fun thing. It's a fun gimmick, but it is a gimmick. The real long-term goal, I think, should be, and this is what Becky Lynch writes about in her book, it's what Paul Levesque said in the post-Evolution conference. You want to go for equality. On the main pay-per-view cards, it's equal men and women matches, and, maybe a few more women's matches than the men sometimes.
I made fun of Stephanie McMahon making the show about herself at the top of the Evolution. But she did make a very good point in that, which is that back when they did the first Evolution, it felt like it was a whole weird new thing for them to do an all-women's pay-per-view. But now, 7 years on, women main eventing pay-per-views doesn't feel that out of the ordinary. Women main eventing Monday Night Raw or SmackDown doesn't feel out of the ordinary. Or opening the show doesn't. And that's what equality looks like when it is just it's part of the furniture, which makes it sound like it's a bad thing, but it's not.
No.
It's like it is a standard thing for women to main event pay-per-views. It is not a, hey guys, look, the women are main eventing the pay-per-view. The women are main eventing the Monday Night Raw. That's
Magic.
that's what equality looks like. Unfortunately, saying magic, that's kind of discredits a lot of what you were sort of doing there. But I've written in my notes here, credit to her. I thought Nikki really looked like she belonged in this new era. Like, I thought she had a very good match. She didn't feel like she was this diva out of time where she's having 2-minute matches that really don't need to have much going on there. She had a decent match here with Chelsea Green.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. She hit the rack attack at the end, just about. It wasn't the smoothest rack attack. And then the Secret Service take her out afterwards. And that's when Stephanie the Kerr runs down. She takes out the Secret Service and helps Nikki up, and they hug because all women are thankful to Nikki.
Well, yeah, I think this leads to a 6-woman tag at SummerSlam.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what our 3-count predictions are. After that, backstage, Grayson Waller is just always with the New Day.
He's just part of their act now.
And this was brilliant, though. They're trying to get a tag title rematch from Adam Pearce. And in a cloche, the sort of silver food trays, Grayson Waller reveals some really expensive wigs.
Yeah, toupees. It's a nice gift for him. And Adam Pearce, because he's so ungrateful, he rejects that. He rejects that gift.
I feel like bald banter has become a real big part of wrestling this year.
Well, it's going to lead to an all-bald pay-per-view in 5 years' time. We're going to really start to stand up. It's like me, Simon Miller, and the rest of us. We're going to stand up for ourselves.
There's always another way.
Well, this is the thing, is because cowards like you have made it acceptable to head off to Turkey and get these transplants done. But no, real men, alpha males like me and Simon Miller and Ricochet and Adam Pearce. No, we're going to stand up.
That should be the main event, though. Me versus you. And I'm like, because I hate all bald people. Because secretly inside I'm bald. And it's a hair versus hair match.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't pick up on this. Wes told us. He said that this is the New Day going through the 7 stages of grief after losing the tag titles.
Yeah.
And this is the stage of them bargaining.
Yeah, so anger is next week, I believe. So we just got a bit of feedback here from someone who has just said, magic isn't that much different from saying cinema. You're both doing it too much, because we're always saying things are cinema.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a funny, self-knowing comment?
I don't think so.
So Pearce then walks over to Judgment Day and he says, you look pretty fine out there earlier, Dominic Mysterio. And Dom just drolly goes, it was the adrenaline.
I've got a note.
Yeah, but Dom's getting reassessed next week, and if he's cleared, he'll be defending the IC title against AJ Styles at SummerSlam.
Camera then just pans over, and there's goofy AJ Styles. Pray into his gold. Please make that little boy cleared again.
And then does the eyes.
The eyes do it.
This is brilliant. This is. I really laughed when they did that.
Yeah.
And it's always in boxes. It's amidst production crates.
Last week, I was just this weird thing where he was just hiding behind the Kallax units, being like, me and you. And I was like, what a weird use of AJ Styles. But here, just goofy AJ praying to God that Dominic Mysterio is going to get cleared. And then Dominic Mysterio himself looking up to God and being like, God, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Like, please don't clear me.
And then we got the Gauntlet match, but slightly before that, Rusev was getting interviewed. Sheamus walks in and has said that Adam Pearce has agreed that Rusev is a cheating bastard, so they're having a rematch. We don't know when yet, though.
No, they didn't say as when, but yeah.
And yet that's the show, because then the next hour was the Gauntlet match. It was Punk winning. It was Roman returning. Really good show.
Yeah, I think it feels like it's my favorite show of the year. Like, I was having such a good time with this. Like, I know there have been, obviously, like the Raw after Mania was nuts and things like that, but it's just like, as just a regular episode of Monday Night Raw, I just had so much fun with this.
I thought that, I was like, oh, that's got to be one of the best shows of the year. But because I obsessively rank, kind of just on vibes with the percentages, I look back and from what I can see, the Rhea Ripley Io Sky one, where Io won the title, better episode. The first John Cena heel turn promo episode
the one in Belgium.
Yep. Better. The London episode with the Cody Cena promo.
And the Rhea Io main event.
Yes, yeah, and that. And also, the Raw after Mania.
Yeah.
So this is a top 5 show, I think. But it is number 5.
I love it. It was a 5 out of 5 show for me before Roman even returned. And Roman returning just tipped it over the edge.
Let's say a big thank you to our wonderful Pledgehammers on Patreon. We are supported by our Pledgehammers on Patreon. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone who joined us for our Patreon AEW All-In Hangout.
Yeah, it was so lovely. And that was the main bit of feedback we got from everyone who was there was, this is the nicest live stream I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
Because there was no trolls
coming.
No dicks. There were no dickheads coming in to just leave trolling comments. It was just nice people having a nice time. And it was lovely.
Well, I complained a lot about the show's length.
Yeah.
But other than that.
But as a great example, no one was then complaining in the live chat that you were complaining.
Yeah.
We were all just having a nice time. We were all just friends. Yeah. And some of those friends had differing opinions. And that's fine to have differing opinions, but no one was being a dick about disagreeing with your opinions.
And when Dustin Rhodes won, and all of us could be so happy for German Dan, who was also watching.
Yeah.
That was a lovely... That was the closest it's felt to being in the pub again.
Exactly,
actually.
Yeah.
Just need a ticket, apparently. Just need to sort out the riffraff by putting a ticket system. But thank you to our wonderful Pledgehammers who pledge at the $30 amount. All-Star Chuck Turner.
Josh Trash Flowers Sharp.
On Top of the World. And the Top Rope, David Sansone.
Dr. Hook, Nolan Evans.
Always shining, Garrett Albright.
The Geordie Bus Driver, Harry.
The Grainy Grappler, Heiko Spaker.
Let Him Cook, Alex.
Ruler of the House of Cards, Jack Avery King.
WrestleTalk's personal problem solver, Jamie Donovan.
John Jenkinson, son of Jenker.
And lastly, for this Hall of Fame class, on the 15th of July 2025, the heir to the throne, Kate Ayers.
Yeah, go over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. In the rest of the month, we have the next episode of the Rise and Fall of the Nexus.
Yeah, it is our review of Bragging Rights 2010, because it will be Hell in a Cell 2010 here on YouTube, and then Bragging Rights 2010, which features The Undertaker versus Kane in a Buried Alive match.
It's there's a lot of things that happen on that show.
And John Cena just not trying in this Nexus storyline.
And winning the tag team titles. And AA and his tag team partner right after.
And the day after that will be a Patreon-exclusive episode of Brain Busters. Brain Busters will be here on YouTube. We're asking how much do we know about SummerSlam? And then on Patreon, it'll be how much do you know about Saturday night's main event? And we have upgraded the Brain Busters studio. It's now, we've got lecterns and everything now. It's very nice.
Well, let's see what our remaining chats are. Last call for the chat gables. Rafael Garcia writes, so, if I'm reading this right, Bayley, after being screwed out of WrestleMania by Becky and then out of winning the IC title by Lyra, who she had pinned at Evolution, loses the number 1 contenders match and may turn a la Drew McIntyre. Great match, but wrong winner.
I think it's the right winner.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is long-term about elevating Lyra.
Yeah, and the story started with Becky and Lyra. It needs to end with Becky and Lyra.
Riley B. Bit off topic, but I wanted to say, Cena winning the WWE title in 2025 has affected my fanship similarly to how Hogan winning the title in 2002 caused Luke to tune out. I was dreading a Cena run this year. This Raw was my first show in 3 months.
Interesting. Because, for me, when Hogan won the belt, I just didn't watch Raw the next night and then didn't watch for 3 years. So it really was just a case I was like, no, I'm done. And that was it. So it's interesting. You come back after 3 months. I think that's a positive sign.
Yeah. And that could just be WrestleMania lull period.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Alex Pearce. Hey, Luke and Oli. With Blake Monroe turning heel, what 3 matches... Oh, apparently Michael Cole didn't see it properly. What 3 matches you want to see from Blake, from top 3 amazing matches, stories to one most bloody bloodbath feud when she goes to the main roster? Thank you.
I think it's slightly hard to say on that one, particularly bloodbath feud, because that worked with Toni Storm because you've done 18 months worth of story with Toni Storm to get to that point. You can't just be like, oh, and now she's feuding with Io Sky and it's a bloodbath. You need to have a really long-term vision for it. And also, they were connected beforehand. So Yeah, I don't know where I would just say like, oh, that's what you do with Blake Monroe. But she'll go into the Jordan Grace program next. She'll likely win the NXT Championship at some point. On the main roster, I suppose her and Tiffany's probably the easiest go-to.
Yeah, two
blondes.
Two blondes.
Yeah, one's about glamour, the other one's about time. That's what I gimmick is, right?
Yeah, I'm Blake Monroe. Mariah May just is one of those people who doesn't really do it for me. I don't particularly get, so I can't really get excited about putting her against many people.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much of this is to put on Mariah May / Blake Monroe, but when she was not feuding with Toni Storm in AEW, she was pretty uninteresting. But I think that's not just on her. That is on AEW's presentation of her, which I do think was lackluster when it wasn't involving Toni. So I don't know. It's actually the honest answer. I don't know what else she could do. If I look at AEW, I was like, I don't really know who else I want to see her against. I just kind of only want to see her face off against Toni Storm.
Well, she's definitely better as a heel. So who's the best baby face on the main roster?
Oh, on the main roster, Stephanie. Io Sky.
Yeah. Yeah, Io Sky. Yeah, that could be pretty good, actually. Roach Senpai writes, regarding Rhea and Io getting another title shot, there are other women who need a title shot. The women in the back are either for mid-card titles or for battle royals just to give them something to do. Likewise for the men. Why shouldn't they feature?
So, Roach Senpai's got a decent point there because the title has just been Io and Rhea all year long. I know Bianca Belair was in there for a little bit, but that is it. It's just been those two all year long. Now with Naomi, but even when it's Naomi, it is still those two.
And last year it was Liv and Rhea
all year long. And actually, even with, I can't even say it's been Rhea and Io all year long because Io's been off TV for 2 months because she didn't do anything since WrestleMania. So really it's just been Rhea all year long.
But I think they are the top stars.
Yeah.
And I get that they are in that world title picture a lot. But then the other people you'd slot in there, arguably, are occupied by the IC belt.
Yeah, and it's Stephanie Vaquer, who is being inserted into that at Clash in Paris.
This section's called Luke and Oli are more over than Roman shirts.
Oh, there's way more chat about you and I than there is about Roman Reigns returning.
Evan Reich writes, hardly get to catch you guys live, and I got you 2 days in a row. Keep up the good work. And to answer Luke's question from yesterday, 2 different suits.
Nice.
I was a groomsman at one of the weddings, so I had to get a tux specifically for that wedding.
Okay, well so Evan went to 2 weddings in 2 days. And so I asked the question, do you wear 2 different suits for that? Because if you've got similar people, you don't look like a scrub wearing the same suit. But if you are part of the wedding party where a suit has been either bought for you or you have to buy a specific, that does answer that question. What would you do? Because I only own one suit is the problem.
Well, I don't think my friends would run their wedding the day after another. So there'd be totally different groups of people. I would wear my one wedding suit.
They wouldn't counter program each other's weddings.
Friends don't do that to each other. Although someone has booked their wedding the week before mine.
No, have they? No. You can tell me off, Mike.
I will. It's a thing. Akihiko Sanada.
I will kick off.
Akihiko Sanada, you don't know them, has written, "Hey guys, just this morning I pledged to Cutscenes Patreon.
I saw your name pop up in my email.
Thank you. After already being a WrestleTalk Patreon. What's the name we were going to make for the people who are both?
Oh, did we have one?
I thought we were talking about it.
Did we?
Yeah. Maybe I dreamt that. Luke and Oli, you are my 2 favourite podcasters on the platform and have helped me through so many work shifts, whether it's about wrestling or Superman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Charles Berg, I think when Gable returns, he should have a mask versus mask match. He should then lose and be regarded as the fake El Grande Americano. Also, Oli, it's important to remember, Mr. Iguana just doesn't have an iguana. He is also an iguana. That is an important fact.
You do often overlook that. I love that idea, though. That Chad Gable comes back to feud with El Grande Americano.
Yeah. In the sort of, who is the real Americano.
And if you get a third one in there, do the Spider-Man meme.
A battle royal of El Grande Americanos. The Beast Aim, or the Beast to Me, writes, "This is more of an appreciation of you both. I want to thank you for keeping me into WWE and AEW all these years to the point that I start wrestling training.
Cool.
So I wanted to say, do it, Oli, on your birthday, all the time or whenever you want. Do It Lady. It's the Do It Lady thing.
Is that the other 4 bits also from the Do It Lady?
Yes,
thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Rory, you're young. You're
you know, Do It Lady. Yeah. Well, Rory's much cooler.
Yeah.
Than everyone else.
It's actually just got you a lot of cool points.
But thank you very much, Beast to me, or however you say your name. Vandalia 1998. I missed a few weeks of WrestleTalk and see a brand new camera setup. Oh, this has been going for about 6 weeks. Has everyone only just come back? I feel like a lot of people don't get to watch you live that much.
Well, it's the post-WrestleMania lull.
It's Roman's back.
Exactly. Well, finish WrestleMania, you're like, do you know what? I'm going to tune out till SummerSlam. And then SummerSlam, we're back on the road to SummerSlam. I was like, oh, yeah. I'll tune in and watch the WrestleTalk dudes in the podcast.
But everyone feels like, it's just been a couple of weeks. We've been here for 4 months. Vandalia says, brand new camera setup. Not that new. Giving me flashbacks of the pandemic era. Glad they aren't making Roman a full baby face and he still has the edge. Colin the Razor Frazier. Hey,
That's
nothing really to do with the show, but quick story. Found you guys because I used to watch the WrestleTalk TV show on Challenge after TNA and searched for clips on YouTube back in 2018 and came across you guys. Been loving the content ever since.
Oh, thank you so much.
Colin.
That's lovely. Thank you. And a great name as well. The Razor Fraser. That's awesome.
What this is? I mean, I'm not complaining about getting so many nice chats.
I mean, it sounds like you are.
Why are there so many?
We're nice guys.
I feel like they're all Adam Pearce telling me we've been doing magic, and now I'm on edge. I'm like, what? Is there a thing? Homer Star writes, I can't believe they spent all this time teasing A Down Under's split, only for it to happen off screen. How is it the same guy who booked DIY's breakup is so bad at booking tag team breakups?
Well, we haven't seen it. Maybe they haven't split up yet. Maybe Austin Theory is just he's having his post WrestleMania summer holiday, and he's going to come back and be like, "Whoa, have you seen the podcast? It's a different camera setup now."
You enjoy the show?
Still part of the show.
And finally, for now, Riley B. In regards to my last chat, I stopped watching Raw 2015 to 2024.
Whoa, that's a big gap.
I started again on the road to Mania last year and tuned out when Cena won the title this year. I lived through the worst years of Cena and dreaded his second coming.
That is fascinating. You missed 2019.
He wouldn't come back if he saw 2019.
That really would have been it. 2015 was the year that made you quit, though.
Yeah. That's when Roman wins the Rumble? Is that year?
It is, 2015. Punk's gone.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess it's Roman then.
Yeah, after the breakup of the Shield year.
Yeah. Oh, not only that, it's Punk's gone. Danielson's retired. Oh, it's just Roman.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us here today. Let's see what the poll result is.
Absolutely.
For the quality of this episode.
Will do. It's high, although not as high as I was expecting, I will say. It is 85% thumbs up, 12% in the middle.
That's pretty goddamn high.
I mean, what I'll say, it is higher than we've had for most weeks, which have been kind of sitting in that sort of 55 to 60 regions. That is really, really high.
Is the feeling back?
They've restored the feeling.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much. Please go over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk, where there's loads more podcasts from me and Luke. And there's loads more stuff coming up over the next few weeks. But for now, I've been Ollie Davis. This has been Luke in DAD. Jam that jam.
Jam that jam.
It's not worked.
I was going to press the wrong button.